Okay, what's happening everybody? Welcome back to the setup here. Today, very important day guys. We have the GDP news coming along here. So we started slightly later so we can cover this news live with you right here, right now. My name is Lorenzo. I'm the co-founder of Limitless Trading Academy. And once again, dropping some bombs on a day-to-day basis here. So let's get this party started. Let's see what we have in the chat also with us today. We're going to talk about the GDP first. We have some important news coming along here. This is the first thing that we need to cover. And then, of course, gold, dollar, you name it. All of that stuff is going to come along here in 4 minutes. So I want to see how the GDP folds out here. Based upon that, we can directly see and anticipate. If we need to react a certain way, we will. We just need some volume coming into the market right now. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have Jerry Ubosa, my man, welcome. Crypto Pro Trader, welcome. Thank you for the support at the crypto streams as well, my friend. I see you. Bleard, Jasara, Dova King, Light has, as always, my friend. Marton, Adam, you too, bro. Marton too. Cowboy. What a support, what a support. Incredible. Okay, make sure you smash up that like button here for the GDP. Okay. Tomorrow we have the PCE price index, the core price index. This is going to be extremely important as well here. So there are two more events that you need to pay very close attention to. The GDP today is important. The PCE price index also extremely important here, okay, for the US in general. So keep in mind, this is the last day, or tomorrow is going to be the last day of the week, of the practically the year here. So make sure that you are aware of the fact that from next week onwards, everyone probably will take a massive break here leading in towards Christmas. Now, let's look at the dollar real quick. Okay, we came down pretty aggressively. We sold off just before the news right now at this particular moment, especially during London. We were building up that liquidity. We're now taking this out there. We're holding though at a strong 1 hour area of the month. This was the last candle before massive expansion here. So it is important to mention that we're now right at support here for the dollar. Okay, for gold, let's talk about gold real quick here because we had an entry for gold yesterday. Okay, just want to start out with gold here. We were here yesterday. Okay, I said we wanted to see price coming back towards the 2038 and then see a rejection from there. So we want to see something like that happening. Okay, this unfolded perfectly. So we had a massive expansion here. We tapped into that range here, and then from that moment we started to sell off, coming back further down. So proof of trade right here as well. I entered slightly lower just to have that internal confirmation on the lower time frames. Took some profits right below, eventually coming along here when price came down a little bit further. Okay, price eventually came back down to this low, which automatically was kind of this trend line that we were building up here. So if you look at this trend, you can see clearly that we have been building that trend here for a while. So we were building this up, and you can see clearly that we had this particular zone. I still think at some point we need to start coming down to take out that particular momentum here. So if you go back to the current gold price here, we came back up again. We failed once again to break above the 2038. So that was by far an absolute key level to right now take in consideration. Okay, two things I want to take right now in consideration once again is the following, especially with the dollar now being at support here. Okay, I'm definitely going to wait for news to come out first. Too many different variables, too many different confluences, being in contrast with each other. So we're going to just simply wait and to see if we can actually benefit from the news, because that expansion that we will generate could potentially help us with a more clear day-to-day trading decision here. Okay, so for now for gold, we are still below that key level, the value area low. Like I said, strong resistance, consolidation, expansion, retracement, once again trying to hold on here. Okay, the point of control is at 2040. That's the next level to look at as well. But what I think needs to be taken out is still that sell side liquidity below. But the question is, we have the PCE price index still tomorrow. Can that be later? Okay, that's something that we need to find out here. So let's just wait for the news right now, and let's see what the numbers are saying here. 5.2% forecast. Okay, crazy stuff here. So that the expectation is, of course, a little bit of a run for the dollar while we're dropping as well here right now. You're seeing that the dollar is selling off before the news with such an amazing forecast. Okay, 5.2% is absolutely crazy. by the way. Yes, let's simply wait for the news. And let's see what the dollar will be doing here. Okay, dollar right now, once again, holding at this area of support here, this area of demand here. We created that range, we expanded, we then swiped and built up some accumulation here. At the same time, the dollar also has that liquidity built up here, okay? But there are two scenarios right now pushing us up here. Once again, if the GBP comes out positive, we did come out positive here, so this should be holding, okay? Gold should be holding right now at this particular moment. Still, from yesterday's setup, yesterday's analysis at 2038, we are still holding below. We are failing to break above that level. Key level right here. Gold is already coming down here right now, okay? Let's see how we close this next, 15-minute candle while we're doing some other pairs in a second here. We will come back to gold and see how this develops. I think a new trade setup will set up very, very quickly if you're not already in from yesterday's trade, okay? That's another layer. But once again, look at all these particular lows that we have been building here. Don't neglect this as well, due to the fact that, this could be a runner, especially when you see, obviously knowing that the PCE price index will come out tomorrow as well here. So once again, let me know what you guys think about gold and the dollar right now. Obviously, this result was positive due to the fact that we came out pretty decent here, okay? The initial jobless claims came out strong, and then the GDP came out at 4.9%. You could see it's being red right now, but it's again roughly 2.8% higher than the previous quarter, okay? So that's massive if you look at the actual data here, especially if you compare it to the previous months here. Now, what's important to mention here is that gold just cannot break the 2038. So once again, we are still holding that same position right here for gold. Okay, next up here, before we continue with gold here, is the euro against the US dollar, because we talked about the euro right here, okay? Super important. This one is absolutely key. So this is the level that we're looking at, okay? We're looking at this high right here for the euro against the US dollar here, okay? And what we're currently seeing is this particular high creating right here this particular low, a lower high, and then a higher low, and now we're trying to hold on here. So this is quite looking, to be honest, pretty strong if you look at the overall results here right now, okay? But because of the dollar and because of what's holding so far still above here, this is kind of important to mention. We're holding above this range right here, and now we have to make sure that we stay above this range as well. So if you zoom here on the lower time frame and you go to the 5-minute, okay, we have to see how we close this, let's say 50-minute candle. This is what I want to see. How do we close this 50-minute candle structure right now at the moment? Hopefully we can start closing above the 102.08. That will be perfect. Why is that level to break here before we look at any positions? That's the following reason. We have this particular low right here. This leads back and we're still getting rejected at this particular moment. Look at that. We're actually coming down super aggressively. So this is always the reason why we wait at least after the news for at least a 15 to 30-minute candle closure leading into these particular markets here. Look at how we're dropping, by the way. That's crazy. So yes, the euro is indeed looking quite strong right now. I will be careful with shorting the euro against the US dollar. Another trade right here, which I'm currently looking at, is the following trade here, okay? And that is the oil trade, okay? This is important to mention. Oil is particularly looking weaker right now at the moment. You can see clearly that at this particular moment here, that consolidation, that expansion, that retracement, and then looking at that particular continuation here on the 8-hour for oil as well, okay? Oil is starting to look weaker right now because as well, we're seeing that rejection on the 618 Fibonacci. And if you look here at the value area high, that's this level right here. You guys know it, the fixtures are in profile. This is also a rejection that we have seen on the higher time frame right now. So it's now the 618 in combination with the value area low, with that final squeeze to the upside, creating a higher high followed by an immediate lower low. So this is the higher high followed by a breakdown, creating and breaking structure. So now we're pulling back And now I think that we could lead into further continuation to the downside here. So if we take this to the lower time frame, let's go to the 30 minute right here. Okay, we have this particular range right here. Okay, same particular zone. We already got rejected right there. Okay, so now you have this particular high, this particular high, this particular high, breakdown. Okay, now I'm looking for that pullback back towards the downside here, but at least giving us one more particular setup on the 30 minute. What I'm personally looking for is the following. If we come back to the 70.5, 79% right here, okay, then I think I'm gonna look for a short opportunity for oil. So that's gonna be around the 73.745 right here, putting my stop loss not above the above this area of supply, but a little bit higher. I'll put it above that initial high right here, okay? That's currently what I'm looking for, waiting for that reaction, waiting for that pullback, and then waiting for that continuation. If you then zoom out once again, okay, and you go to the 30 minute, then we also have this particular range filled up with new information. Okay, so let's draw the fixed range volume profile right here. Let's do that. And you see clearly that the point of control of that range is aligning perfectly with the 70.5 and 79%. So you will see that you're gonna face a serious amount of resistance right at that level here, and this could simply just lead into further, you know, continuation to the downside here. Okay, so consolidation, expansion, retracement from the higher to lower time frame, now at the 30 minute, waiting for the pullback, waiting for that sell off for oil right there. Okay, next one is the following. Okay, the Japanese yen. I think this is important to mention, and the reason why this is important to mention here is because of the following fact. Okay, we're talking about the weekly rejection, and that's an important one. All right, the weekly rejection was right at this particular level here. We were talking about 7,195. That was kind of that low that we needed to break. So this was the low, and it couldn't break it. Okay, we had support here, we had resistance here. We are now facing resistance there once again. So what's important to mention here is that we got rejected this week. So the yen came down. Okay, other pairs like the Canadian dollar against the yen, that played out yesterday as well. GJ played out yesterday as well. All of them came up here. However, currently what we're seeing on the weekly is a chance of right now a weekly candle flip. Okay, so if you're taking this to this particular candle on the weekly here, look how strong we're getting bought up right here right now. I would not be surprised if by the end of this week we're gonna flip this one bullish, and therefore the yen will increase. So it's gonna get harder right now to get into long positions for GJ, EJ, Australian dollar against the yen, and so on and so on, just because of the strength of the yen, particularly pushing us further up once again towards the 7,171. So be careful with this particular zone right here. Okay, now because of that, let's look at the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. We talked about that setup yesterday as well. Let's see where we at here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we were waiting for that move, and we indeed broke out of that zone here. So if you guys were in the V3 trading floor, we talked about this exact setup. We broke out, and that was the moment when the yen started turning. Okay, so the yen got rejected, and from that moment onwards, we started flipping bearish here. So that means that the yen was becoming stronger right now. This was the perfect reaction to just turn around, to take your profits out, and just to you know, leave a little bit of a run and running. You get stopped out on break even on the rest, but at least you made some money right now. Now at this particular moment, when you look at the yen, we're looking at a complete flip here. Okay, and this could mean that we could now start pushing further towards the downside right here. Okay, we still have this low, and this is the first low that matters the most here, which is gonna be roughly around, and I need to see from this complete wick here, yeah, right here at the 50% of the swing low, the swing high point, which is this range, which also comes towards this particular zone. So I think we're gonna push back towards this range right here, which is still gonna be roughly around a nice 30 pips. Let's wait and see how we react around this level here. But so far, we're looking kind of weak after that final retracement that we made to the upside here, okay? Now another one, because of the dollar right now pushing down here, okay, the next level for the dollar, and this is absolutely key, is on the daily time frame, because there were two scenarios. One of them is that we break to the upside. The other one is that we break to the downside. Key level right now is going to be actually where we are right now. So we are going to come there in a second here. If you look at the Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, we are almost there. And that is the 70.5, okay? We're literally tapped into it once before. We bounced very strong from this initial level here. Now we're tapping into it again, okay? Keep in mind, this goes hand in hand with that trend line that we have been building on the daily for a pretty long period of time as well. So based upon this right now, we have this lower low, higher high. I still think that as long as we're staying above the 79%, we could still retrace to the upside here. But so far, we're looking a little bit weaker. But again, don't get fooled by this particular move, because I do believe that if you look here on the 4 hour as well as the 1 hour, look at what we're building here, okay? This, in my opinion, is also just a strong way of building that liquidity that we need, particularly for the PCE price index as well here, due to the fact that they expect a serious outcome here. At the same time, the GDP news was extremely positive, even though it was less than expected, okay? So I do believe still in a recovery yesterday right here, okay? Beautiful. So congratulations if you took that gold trade right here. That was a good trade overall here. We made around 100 pips on this particular trade from the 2038 towards the lows, back towards that trend line. Obviously right now we're smashing through it. The next level is going to be this particular high right here. I will be very patient right now to see how we react. We didn't pull it through, so it's all about now looking for that pullback and turning previous resistance into support, especially if you're looking and zooming out right here, okay? You can see clearly that we're looking at a fair value gap right now fill. So that means that we can come up a little bit further, wait for the dollar to come down here, and then look at this initial range, which is going to be right there, which is going to push us further to the downside right now, okay? So we're pulling up right here, wait for the pullback, and then wait for that particular continuation. It's always a probability here, so it's always good to secure yourself whenever you are at least 50 pips in profit, okay? That's what you do. You take your money out, you leave it running for the next possible leg down in case there's still that sell side liquidity built up, which was the case right here. There's still a bunch of it. So I'm actually not surprised if tomorrow we're gonna come down again, okay? Let's see what we're happening in the chat right now here. There we go. We still have supporting the limitless fam. Santiago, what's happening, my friend? Thomas says, what an amazing overview yesterday. They played solid. GJ was dope. Thank you, bro. Baxter says, took previous weekly low and tapped into the fair value gap 2. JPYX bullish. Beautiful. Thank you, my friend. I agree. JPY could be turning and flipping bullish here. All right. Manga says, show some love. Hit the like button. Shout out to you, my friend. Rafael, W, Lord Blanket, Fire. Let's do one more analysis here. That will be good. Ricardo says, hey there, Lorenzo, best early Merry Christmas, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we made a nice profit on gold here. Now we're flipping bullish. So now it's all about being patient and waiting to see how we react here. Because if we look on the 1 hour right now, look at what we still have been building, okay? What we're doing right now practically is we're taking out, let me put it to the right a little bit, taking out all these highs here that we have been left over right now. But I do not neglect the lows that we have been building here. And especially not when the PCE price index, core price index comes out. Same for the dollar, okay? So I'm still being very patient, and I think that when the core PCE price index will turn over here, we might see still one more time a good reaction from this here. The euro did the exact same thing right now. It took out all the highs here. If we start flipping bearish and that candle starts turning red and we close bearish again on the next one, you know, we might be turning as well. Who knows? We're going to find out here. We are looking at probabilities. Let's do at least one setup here from the chat. When was it gold traded Twitch channel on Discord yesterday on the setup, live on stream? Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, please. All right. Yeah, this is perfect. So this is a key example of what I mean here. So Japanese yen is looking strong. Right now we're looking at particularly or potentially at a bullish weekly flip, okay? We talked about this one right here. Let's go over it one more time. Bullish flip here for the Japanese yen. Okay, we're looking strong. We took out major lows here. The weekly low was taken right now from the previous week. You can see that after we took out the previous low here, we're massively getting bought up right now at the moment. Okay, so based upon that information, with a weaker Australian dollar here, I can show you right now as well. If you go to the money flow index, we have been building this index right here for the Australian dollar. You can see that the weekly right now is also in weekly resistance right here, and it just tapped into that weekly resistance as well here. So Australian dollar being in that weekly resistance, the yen manipulating the previous weekly low and flipping bullish could lead potentially in another leg down here, okay? And the reason why I think this could turn into a really nice trade, okay? You come up, you start pushing up here, okay, right there in the middle. You come down to the center here. You have all that liquidity still built up below, okay? But the most important candle I would look at is this one right here. I hope you guys can see it. Let me zoom in a little bit. But this is a massive expansion here. Look at this candle right there, okay? Massive expansion. I think this was a candle of roughly around, I need to see how much it is, around 50 or 60 pips. So what I think we could do is we could have some sort of wick fill. So one hour closure below this level, guys, and that's the 96.381. One hour closure below, and we're looking for further continuation back towards that range, okay? Everything is screaming, yen strong, Australian dollar in resistance. So potentially on the 1 hour chart here, if you see that closure, we might be pushing us further down. When that happens here, you can wait for that confirmation, that closure. The next candle flipping bearish is gonna be your entry, okay? So one more time, if you have a weekly closure, or sorry, a 1 hour closure below, you wait for the next candle to create a top wick and flip bearish. That could lead into the continuation. Then you can place your stop loss above the previous wick of the previous hourly candle, okay? That could lead into a nice trade here. I do think that this could be turning into a nice 70 pip move here back towards these lows right here. And from there, we can see how it goes and we can see how things are developing. Okay, I think that this is a nice one. This is definitely a trade that I would take if we see that hourly closure happening here. Another one, which I think is important to mention, is the following, okay? And that is the NASDAQ, because we have been talking about the NASDAQ flip right here. This is absolutely key, because look at what we're seeing here, okay? We have broken major weekly highs, all right? So this is pretty crazy. It's like a yearly high, okay? Right in December, right at the end of the year right now, heading in towards Christmas, taking out the high. Whatever it took, they wanted to go for the highs. It was all or nothing. All these positions were right there above. That's their goal, okay? Literally manipulating these highs, the previous highs are from 2022, okay? So now they can say, we closed the year strong. We closed the year at an all-time high. Everything is looking amazing, fantastic. This is what we need, okay? So you will bet that this is pure manipulation at the highest level here. Overall though, we have seen a strong sell-off on the 1 hour, okay? So you can see clearly right now that we're trying to push up and retest, you know, that initial sell-off that we saw of 2%, which is a big move in the NASDAQ. Now let's draw the Fibonacci right here, number 1. And we are now back at the 618, okay? This is where we currently are facing that resistance, okay? You can see it already right here. So you have this particular level right at 16,791. So this is a high, this is a low, and this is a high. I do not think that this is like an area of supply that we should think about right now. I think that this is the level to really take consideration due to the many confluences as well. If you start closing above it, be aware of the fact that we might still continue here. And the reason why I'm saying that is the following. Okay, the volatility index is a chart right here that is extremely important. Okay, right here, the volatility index shoot up super aggressively. And if you guys know the volatility index, you know that once the volatility index increases, that could result into a lot of fear in the market. This is a chart that's built up on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. So therefore, it measures the volatility of the options based upon the indices, the S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, you name it, okay? So in this case, we have been manipulating the lows. We have been taking out these lows right here, and we started ranging. After that happening, we started to come into weekly support, and we expanded super aggressively to the upside here, okay? So how can we use this right now to predict the next outcome for the NASDAQ? Well, let's have a look at the daily. Number one, okay? We literally came back towards very strong, again, weekly resistance right here, okay? The reason why we're looking at higher time frame areas of support and resistance is because they're extremely accurate. Now, look at this right here, okay? We have this particular range. This is the equilibrium of that range. You can see that this is the low where we bounce from. You can see that this is now the high where we're facing that resistance here. You can also see that this was the high previously, a very confluential zone. Now, if we close above this one right here today, okay, then I think there is a big chance we could lead into further continuation right there. So if we start coming up and we close this one today, I think the biggest trade opportunity will actually be tomorrow, which could lead into another potential sell-off here for the NASDAQ here. So if we get rejected and we close this candle below it today, then I think we could see it seeing, a little bit of a pullback, which could then lead in towards, more upside still for the NASDAQ. And this was just one trade to scare people off right now at the moment. But again, from a lower time frame standpoint right here, I mean, you could say that you could play this one right here at the moment. But again, this is quite an aggressive pump to the upside. So yes, you have this high and you think that, okay, this higher high created a lower low. It could be a nice area of supply. But this is an aggressive pump already to the upside right now, right here. We are getting rejected the 618. My suggestion is to wait for the daily closure due to the fact that then you have the volatility index confirmation. That could lead into a much nicer setup. So your bias is clear. Then you can go to the lower time frame tomorrow and you can start taking as many trades as you want because you have that confirmation. Okay, there we go. Okay, quickly guys, crypto, all right? Absolutely crazy. We're seeing right now, an insane amount of people winning here. Just wanted to go through all the wins here. We have, of course, Trader Tim. Oh, what happened? Let's see if this is still working. There we go. Okay, we're back. Trader Tim has been giving over 100 signals over the last month. 100 signals over the last month. He made roughly around 350% on his portfolio, okay? And he shares every signal with you guys right here in the VIP group of crypto. So if you're interested in trading crypto, then this is absolutely your moment to join because there are so many opportunities. It's just getting ridiculous. And retail is not even fully in to the markets right here. So I'm happy that we're seeing the crypto VIP absolutely exploding right now. There are so many new people coming along here, joining, taking trades of Tim here. This was our goal, this was our dream. So I'm very, very happy to see this growing right here, okay? Another layer, of course, is that we have a stream coming along here in roughly 1 hour from now. I'm going to talk about crypto for an hour. We're going through the best possible setups. We highlight these setups right here and we take that to tomorrow. But way, way, way deeper also trading-wise as well. So if you're interested in trading crypto live, then this is for you, particularly an area to join, okay? Limitless Crypto, it's featured on my channel. You can click on the link, subscribe if you haven't yet, or support us, all right? And join our beautiful community right here, where many, many gems are shared here using the same trading concepts. But again, the opportunities are endless because you have thousands of them. But obviously we have ways to filter that out and to create some magic. Okay, now thank you guys very much here. We're going to look into the V3 trading floor, what's currently happening here. Oh, they're watching the show. Okay, Mind Warriors, shout out to you, my friend. You're absolutely crushing it. And whatever, guys. Keep it up. Gonna head into the V3 trading floor right now. Thank you for today. Tomorrow is the last stream. We're gonna stream one more tomorrow. Okay. Quickly want to go over a lot of things. So the PCE price index is going to be the most important news of the week. We can't miss out on that right here. Okay. Any gold updates coming along later on as well. Keep a close eye on it. But again, don't get fooled for all that sell side that's still below here. So don't get fooled tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big day. We might still even come down. All right. Peace out, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Good luck. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up.